Hello, my friends. Welcome to Leverton on Games, and I'm Leverton, and what I do is review games and get myself into silly little side quests. For example, currently I am trying to beat every NES game that was ever released on the console by cheating. Uh, I have beat maybe 3 out of 5 games that I've tried so far, so I think I'll be able to beat the majority of them, but I still have this side quest. And today I'm going to talk about Bubble Bobble. Um, Bubble Bobble is a game, I think, kind of an iconic NES game. It you can play as it's a two-player game. You can play it as single player, and there's these two dragons named Bub and Bob. And what they do is there's different levels, and you use your bubble power to trap the enemies, and then you hit the bubbles, and then the enemies disappear, and you need to clear all of the enemies from one level before going to the next. And I think it's considered a platformer, but I don't. It has platforms, but for me, a platformer has like progression, and this does progress from level to level, but it's not like. And also, you can't die from falling, which is, I think, a key aspect of a platformer. You can die that enemies hit you, but you can't die from falling. Um, the levels are kind of varied, and I don't think for the most part it's hard. There are one or two levels. I don't remember which levels. I think 57 and 68 were really, really difficult for me, even if I was cheating, because you need to figure out the mechanic, and sometimes that's not exactly obvious what the mechanic is. But generally, you need to like jump up on bubbles and then you can go up and higher. And I think this game was marketed towards smaller children, I remember. So I don't think that they would have been able to figure that out. And I only figured it out because I was able to Google in the middle of a game, which children in the 80s didn't have access to, right? So they either had to be like super dedicated or have a big brother or sister figure it out for them. So I would say, is it fun? Yes, it's quite fun. And I could even see it being a mobile game now because it has that same level of addictiveness. And there are these, um, it's fun, but I would have this caveat that there are the level of difficulty is probably like a 5 out of 10, but then it ramps up to a 10 out of 10 randomly, which I don't think is quite fair. And also randomly, when I was cheating, I was playing single player, and randomly I spawned a the second player, and I was trying to play with that player, but my controllers didn't work at the same time. But anyway, that second player survived until the end because we had this invincibility cheat. But I got the bad ending that you get when you, um, you don't make it to the end with two players, which is, I think, horrible. That's not fair. You shouldn't punish somebody who had single player success. Maybe you can have different endings for the single player and for the other player, for 2 players. Yeah, but and it's not just that it's like known as the bad ending. They literally say this is the bad ending, which is horrible. But the sprites are really cute. They're little dragons that wag their tails, and it's colorful. And the music in the beginning is, really cheerful, kind of that 8-bit, Nintendo nostalgia that you got, but the music doesn't vary ever. So if you're playing 100 and I think that there's 111 levels. If you're playing 111 levels, it's so very, very, very annoying, you know. So actually, I was going to give this a higher mark, but now thinking about it, I would give it like a 6 out of 10. It does have a lot of good things connected to it, but it's not actually that enjoyable. But what do you think? Have you played Bubble Bobble in the last 30 years? The original version? Um, if you have and you liked it, please give me your point of view in the comments. And if you really, really hated it, also give me your point of view in the comments. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel. All right, thank you everyone. Bye-bye.